What's that? Snow or is it that snow or rain? Flurries. In my wonderful field of medicine, I've been experiencing some of probably what my patients have been going through for 40 years. Hopefully not because of me, because I used to work in the clinic, but it's a medical inefficiencies and what patients are often complaining about, which is the inability to get in contact with a person when you need something addressed acutely, and not just this. Oh, just go to the ER. You know, yeah, just go to the ER. That's I'm seeing now from the inside. Okay, I'm seeing now from the inside why it's so inefficient. So here's my story. I woke up yesterday. I don't remember what time it was, but I knew my body wasn't right because I could feel the tension in my core. So what I said to myself was, I'm gonna have these motherfucking seizures today. That's what's gonna happen today. So I just went ahead and mentally prepared myself. And sure enough, I got out of bed, started twitching and kicking like a fucking June bug on a hot summer's day, on a hot tin plate. So I sat my ass down and commenced to figure out what things I had available that could help me. Actually, it wasn't too many. Meditation and prayer were definitely up there. Because when you have these type of things happen, they're very painful sometimes. And how do I invite people to this? Download, blah blah blah. Any rate, I tried different preparations to help with the seizures. Some of them probably made it worse. Some of them maybe helped. I don't know. I had some CBD oil that I use on my skin. I rubbed a lot of that in, and it seemed for a minute like that helped some. This is purely anecdotal, so take it for what it's worth. But there are certain CBDs like Charlotte's Web that are known to be anti-seizure, anti-spasmodic. And I'm just not getting into this subject when it comes to uh, THC and CBDs, is which ones are actually effective against seizures. Now, I actually read an article. I think it was a Harvard article with some rats. And I want to say what they figured out in this article was that the THC actually increased seizure activity in some people's brains. So if you have a seizure disorder and you are doing THC, you may want to back off, man, because some of the studies look like it's definitely not helping if you're taking it for medical reasons. On top of seizures, I recommend getting your doctor to prescribe something else for the seizures, especially if you're noticing that you're having an increased number of these seizures. Okay, while you're taking the THC, not CBDs, and not every CBD is created equally. I need to go. I know about Charlotte's Web. That's the one I know about. But I need to find if there are other preparations that actually will help. Because I ended up having to get an emergency prescription for like lorazepam or clonazepam to get these shits to finally stop. Let me tell you, about 18 or 19 or 20 hours straight of fighting a fucking seizure in your body. Some of y'all know what that's like. Some of y'all don't. All I'm gonna tell you is if you ain't got a fucking Jedi Knight mode you can switch into, then may God bless your fucking soul. That's all I'm gonna say about that. When you really get sick, it's just shit starts happening to you. If you ain't got the Jedi Knight mode to switch into, that's what I got for you. Okay, Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you get on the phone, what you're gonna get is frustration. Okay, that's why everybody just jumps into the car and goes to the ER. But see, I ain't one of those. I ain't one of these people that's gonna do that. See, I ain't like that. I'm a real out here in the middle of fucking nowhere outdoorsman. That's where I live my life. You ain't always gonna be able to just jump in the car and run and get shit. I mean, so yeah, you can sometimes, and sometimes you have to wait. You know, so you got to know what you got, and know what it can do. And in my case, just breathing and meditation did a lot to resting, breathing, and meditation. But some of these tonic-clonic type seizure activities will come through, and it's painful as fuck, man. Seizures are painful as fuck. Anybody who has them knows if you go into not a full tonic-clonic seizure, but a partial seizure, you're awake when that shit happens. You can feel whatever muscle is fucking. You can feel it. All right. So I'm gonna tell you straight off the bat. All I had with me was some CBDs. I started fucking chunking them junks down. I don't know if it helped or if it hurt. I think it kind of calmed them down a little bit. But there's a very specific type of CBDs that I need that are made for seizures. And I have to find out the name of them. So next time I go to the CBD store, I'm gonna say this is the type I need. Okay, I don't need this other stuff. And I'm gonna say THC products. If you're having these breakthrough seizures and shit, just back off of the THC, man. Because from my reading, I don't think it's gonna help. From my experience, shit. Um, it may trick you into thinking it's gonna help you because your brain is altered because you're taking in tetrahydrocannabinol. But when the shit actually starts to kick off, you're gonna have more fucking seizures than you would have had otherwise. I'm just trying to tell you, save you some of the fucking pain and suffering that I had to go through to figure this information out. You know, I had to go through a certain amount of information and pain and suffering to figure all this shit out. And so, eventually, what I ended up doing, man, is just I did purged everything, like all the medications. I ended up getting an emergency prescription from the ER doctor for Klonopin, which definitely helped cool things off. And I think at least one set of CBDs that I had that rubbed into my legs, I'm pretty sure they helped the seizures quite a bit. Um, I don't even know what brand this is that I use. It's a brand that's specific to Montana. I think it's pretty high in the CBDs too. It's not here. I was also taking a stack. Yeah, I was taking a stack of like lion's mane at the same time, fish oil, vitamin D3, uh, broad spectrum cannabinoids. This is just broad spectrum cannabinoids. It doesn't have any specific, but it's pretty high, 4.5 grams per cc. So this joint has some efficacy, man, definitely. So shout out to Montana Natural Health Solutions for being there to help a brother out when shit hit the fan. When I couldn't get no doctors on the damn phone. At that rate, I was down for like whatever's gonna make it go away. I was so exhausted from fighting them all day. I almost just said, just throw me in the back of the fucking car and drag me to the ER, but I just didn't want to do that. So I waited for for the benzos to come. Benzos kicked in. I think what the CBDs allowed me to do was, if I had to guess, relax enough of my brain tissue, neural tissues, right? It kept me right at the threshold where I felt like without it, I might have had a full-on seizure, but it kept me right there. Like I could still function. And every now and then I would lock up, then I could relax, breathe, meditate, unlock. Okay. So this is not, I'm not being your doctor right now. I'm not trying to tell you how to treat seizures, But when this shit happens, it happens to a lot. I wasn't born with any seizures. You know, I had a fucking anoxic brain injury from being resuscitated, and now I'm having these breakthrough seizures, and I'm having to learn. Like, you know, my diet now is pretty much the same, but I'm including more fish products and avocados to give that brain tissue time to recover. Deep breathing exercises. Stress makes seizures worse. Lower the stress, man. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke weed. Okay, if you got seizures, and you may find a CBD product out there if you do your research. Talk to your doctor, your neurologist about it. But this is cutting edge, and nobody's gonna be able to tell you shit about it. You know, the specific type of seizures that the little girl was having in Charlotte's Web is different than the type of seizures that I'm having. Totally different. So in science, you can't automatically assume that what she was taking is going to help you. You have to find a study with a certain type of CBD that was for people like you. Somebody post resuscitation, in my case, post and a little bit of an anoxic, in other words, lack of oxygen hit to the dome or whatever part of my body was hit. I don't know. Could have been solar plexus. I mean, I don't know. But something in the dome took a hit, which lowered my seizure threshold. So now, you know, what's up, OB? Giving everybody a little bit of information on what I've learned about seizure disorders. They're a motherfucker, man. God bless everybody who's going through this throughout your life. And I haven't been put on Keppra yet. If you notice, without seeing any doctors, I'm sitting here seizure free, not taking Klonopin or Keppra. Matter of fact, I think today I haven't taken shit except maybe one heart medicine, if I even took that. So I'm thinking the stack that I took yesterday, I took a lot of CBDs, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I took a shitload of CBDs before I took the clonazepam. After that, I was kind of zoned out. And then I slowly noticed that the muscle tension. But I'm not gonna. I mean, the clonazepam is what you need immediately when you have any kind of seizure activity. That's the only thing that's gonna stop it. You can try these home fucking remedies if you want to, but I'm telling you, I've been doing this shit for a long time. Over 20 years, I've been a doctor, and this is the first time I'm having to deal with seizures myself. So what's that?
Quarter room.
Pill time.
Do you need the
Clonazepam?
Yeah.
Just happened to have. I didn't take it all. I don't think, did I?
You need Prenivil?
Yeah. Just give me my stack. My stack for the day. Water.
Yeah.
She figures I'm just gonna give me all of it. What's that?
This is coconut.
Let me see. Let me see that. You have a half a tablet in there?
No, just get one. One a day.
How come you don't cut it in half?
Yeah, just take one a day. That's fine.
Oh,
you're supposed to report 2 times a day.
Then they don't fucking know how much it takes. Because I do this is look, this is what I do for a living. People come in the ER having a seizure, I have to give them 4 milligrams, 2 milligrams of this shit. So they don't know how to titrate it if they're not with you. Good Buddhist books.
What there?
The book I'm reading right now that I just finished up was on what was that book really on? Bodhicitta, mostly. I think it was mostly on Bodhicitta, Sita, Chitta. Hold on. Hang in there. Let me see something real quick. See if I can tell you the title of this book real quick.
Is it the Periscope is only until tomorrow?
Periscope is ending.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. We're all pretty much done with it anyway, so. Hold on, Audible. The book is called Training the Mind. That's the book. Training the Mind by Chogyam Trungpa. Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. I'll take a picture if I can. This book is worth reading again. Actually, it's worth reading again because that's what I've been dealing with. The imaginal realm. I mean, we create reality, man. When you go into these altered states like I was in, between seizures and shit, when I was dead, that part, everything else I've been experiencing, man. Like we definitely co-create reality with our brains, our minds, and I really think it behooves some people to learn how to create something a little bit. Like if you want peace, create peace, man. Because whatever space I was in when I crossed over, it was a peaceful space with family. It wasn't a big space, but it was a safe space. I have no doubt in my mind that I created that situation with the help of my saints, friends, relatives that I don't know, people that are passed on that I don't know. My grandma probably was in there helping out because she loved me like a mug. I hate swallowing pills, man. I can't swallow pills for shit. God help you if you gotta do this shit every day. I'll see how you do it. I put a fucking stick around my neck and go into the woods with a fucking powered rifle. See what it do that day. That do this shit every day, man. For me, this is a whole new experience. But the experience is taking place in my mind. Good for you, bro, because I don't want to take none of this shit. And I wasn't going to take any today, but the heart medicine, I think, is a necessity for me. But a lot of the stuff that you're going through, your mind influences it. Like my marijuana probably helps, and it's fucking opposite. So some of it you gotta just know. You gotta know your shit. You better be aware that medical marijuana can make a fucking seizure worse if you're having seizures. Otherwise, you think you're doing something that's helpful, and then you gotta know that every brand of CBD you take ain't necessarily gonna help whatever you have. You need to take the brand specific, the dose and the type specific for what you have. If you're lucky enough to have any information about your ailment and CBDs, which we have a little bit on PTSD, I think, maybe a little bit of seizures, chronic pain, some. So it's scattered. So much research is needed out here that it's ridiculous, man. But a lot of it, man, is going to be your body's going to be taken away from you. Okay, your mind is going to be the only thing that, when it's not clouded, if you're on a ventilator, your mind is going to be the only thing. All right, OB. Your mind is going to be the only thing that's going to be able to progress any clarity in these situations. Okay, so you're going to have to basically depend on your mind when you get in these situations, like the seizure yesterday, and couldn't get nobody to call a prescription in for me. I said, this shit's gonna take a while, and my chest and arm and neck are locking up right now. So what am I gonna do? What do I have to choose from? So I went through my Rolodex and I went through whatever meds I had, and I said, oh, breathing and meditation. Let me try that. So went into slower breathing mode, meditation, and lo and behold, I felt like I was further away from having that big seizure. Okay, this is anecdotal, but this is how it works. Since we don't have some big labs that we can do this in, we gotta just share information like this. Because we wait for these motherfuckers to build these labs and do these tests, we go all be dead. So we gotta start helping each other out with information like this. I'm giving you $5 game for $250, like Jay-Z would say. And if you got seizures right now and you on CBDs and weed, I'm giving you fucking $20 worth of information for $5.99 easy. But different peoples have different types of spasms depending on what's happening. But in general, they're different etiologies. They're not all seizures. They can sometimes turn into seizures because you have generalized seizures, partial seizures. Some people get seizures after a head injury. In my case, it was after a, a period of anoxia to my brain. So whatever the ventilator was doing must not have been enough, or I was on the ground for too long. I'm not sure which one it is, but part of somewhere in my brain took a hit. The part that central set an extensor versus flexor tone, because you have two sets of muscles in the brain that control tone. One set, I think the upper neurons is all extensor. That's why we have the opisthotonus as a model for or the decerebrated frog, right? He's fully extended, right? Decerebrate frog. That's from zoology. You decerebrate a frog and you get full extensor posture, full on, and nothing short of some kind of blocker probably in his IV system is going to stop that. Too bad we didn't get to do that. That'd have been cool to see, and the pre-medicine students could have learned something from that, but we didn't get to see that. I'm sure benzos would have done the trick, or you can use depolarizing and non-depolarizing blockers like succinylcholine or vecuronium, which we use to paralyze people before we put them on the ventilators. But that's what I'm telling you, man. Like when this shit happens, I thank God I'm a doctor sometimes because what the fuck do y'all do, man? I mean, when y'all get on the phone and the motherfuckers don't answer, I feel for you, bro, because I'm going through it. I'm just lucky enough to have enough knowledge to know what to do for myself, and some stuff that I could do for myself may be making shit worse. So that you need to be aware of that part as well. um, so the key, man, it comes down to is knowledge, man. It really comes down to knowledge, and the way the medical model is now, the fact that a person, for the second time I've been home, the second time I've had a seizure, it's on me. I could have chosen to just go into the ER, spend another fucking gajillions of dollars, see somebody who may or may not be a neurologist, talk about, well, since I already talked to my best friend who's a brain surgeon, we've already decided that probably Kepler would probably be a good trial for me. But you can do your thing and go through yours and see what you think. I'm just trying to save you some energy and save you some time because we've already discussed this on the phone in length. And I've given him insight into the process as it pertains to me. But do your thing. Ask whatever questions you need to ask. But usually when I go in, man, look, I already know what it is. So I know what needs to be done. And they're probably already doing it. Obviously, if I'm unconscious, they got to do it because I can't do shit. But I got to talk to the cardiologist tomorrow. So I got to go through and review all of my notes before I do that. So we can sit down and have an intelligent conversation about right now my brain is what's fucking with me. That's what's trippy. Is like all these cardiology visits and like, man, look, this is what's fucking with me right now with these twitches and fucking seizures, man. And medicine, I will say this, I know it's slow to respond. If you throw something else into the cake, they get so focused on one thing. Oh, heart valve, fix heart valve, heart valve, heart valve, heart valve, fix heart valve. Hey, guess what? I had an anoxic brain injury with a subsequent new onset partial seizures. Not generalized, not tonic-clonic, but partial seizures. It's what they are, and they're painful as fuck, and they hurt. So that's the part where, out of all the people that they put together for my check, I got a I got an interventional cardiologist, so he went in there, pacemaker set, boom, that's done. You know, the neurosurgeon at that time wasn't necessary. Heart surgeon came in, boom, boom, boom. We talked for a second. I'd already been in contact with Mayo Clinic already about my heart, but you know, I shared with him what I knew, and he's a African American gentleman. What's up, Warren? What it do? What it do? You know, I shared my information with the cardiothoracic surgeon about what I knew about my condition, and talked about sudden death, which is what I had. But in the end, man, I'm gonna tell you what. There's definitely times. Come to Clubhouse. Is there a place called the Clubhouse? Really? I didn't know they had a place called the Clubhouse. Is that a new platform? The ability to go into deep meditation saved my ass at least 3 or 4 times this week. Because otherwise, the seizures would have just kicked in, and I would have just been going with it and okay. So let me tell you one of the advantages of learning to meditate is from my own experience. Now, not only do you have some insight when you're actually dead on the other side, if you come back like me, when you come back to this side and you're having these fucking seizures, philosophy. Oh wow, maybe because they're listening. Because they're listening, right? Yeah, the health benefits of meditation, man, are beyond the scope of this scope to discuss. But the real yogis, the advanced yogis, can control heart rate, breath rate, a lot more philosophy. Yeah, I think people need to learn about specific types of meditation, because the meditation that I was doing for my seizures was a simple sort of anapanasati meditation where you go from your mind, the objects of mind, and you go to the body. But I wasn't going through the steps. I was going straight to the source, you know. But I mean, there's so many benefits I can't even get into them. Learn to focus when I have mental distractions. Been able to focus throughout the day on what task can I do that day, even if hurting. Yeah, meditation is a do thing, but I think talking about it and giving people our experiences with it, is definitely worth the time and the effort. Because you have an iPhone, because we don't know how deep the rabbit hole really goes, is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm talking about stopping seizures and shit, right? I mean, so I'm sure. Well, why not? If yogis can stop their heartbeat, a seizure comes from the autonomic nervous system. You're calming your autonomic nervous system down, which is really what meditation is supposed to be doing anyway, right? But I've learned that there's levels to this, so I would like to be more advanced with things like maybe Kundalini yoga, things like that, or whatever yoga is specific for learning to control bodily processes like digestion, autonomic nervous system function like digestion, heart rate. Those have always been the yogas that I've been interested in, because I could see an obvious benefit from knowing those type of yogas. And so, Clubhouse is the only platform. Oh, nice. I didn't know we had Clubhouse. Is the app already included? Is it already on one of my little icons? So hopefully somebody that goes through seizures, I hope I helped you with this information, man, because this is straight up N=1 clinical study on myself. Like Dr. Frankenstein and shit. But this is what doctors do, man. We experiment ourselves when we can't get any relief. Whatever knowledge we have, we're gonna use it, man. If you're sitting in the bed fucking locked up and you can't move, man, fuck talking. We past talking right now. I'm gonna use whatever I get my hands on that I have knowledge about that's gonna relieve this this situation I'm in, you know. And I can tell you this also, we're underutilizing telemedicine because a lot of these conversations that I could have had with these people could have been right now on the phone. I could have talked to them. They could have looked at me, right? Boom, 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 boom. That's what it would have been. So I ended up having to call somebody from my job. Yeah, I'll send you my phone number and just email me. Yeah, go through Twitter if you have my Twitter and email me your email address, and then I'll send you my my phone so I can check out this clubhouse. But man, everything is about the mind, man. Don't be fooled. Like you're gonna be thinking like all these medical problems you're having that that you need to focus on something other than what's going on here. Don't get pulled into it, man. I'm telling you that all the action is going on here, and it extends out from there. Learn how to relax certain muscle groups and breathe properly. That's obviously very important in a seizure or pre-seizure. But even during a seizure, you can shorten the length of the seizures if you know how to relax mentally and breathe a certain way as you can. Obviously, you can't breathe normally. I'm telling y'all though, if you smoke weed and you have seizures, the studies that show it increases the amount of seizures you're having. So you might want to back off, okay? And find a specific. And I've been saying it forever. I think CBDs are better because they're specific for a certain type of ailment, a certain type of brand. I mean, each each species of CBD is different, as is THC. But I can see the potential for the CBDs when it comes to neurological and psychological ailments as being much greater than THC, because THC is like a hammer. To me, it is. It's like a hammer, boom. You know, in the case of seizures, it probably makes it worse. You know, so a little bit you need to know before you go off and try to play medicine, man. Is that everything you think is or isn't hurting you or harming you might be. So when you come back out of the clouds and you're lucid again, you go through what was my diet that day? What about my water? What about my stress? Did I take all required medications I was supposed to? You got to go through this checklist in your brain and figure out what you did wrong. Maybe your water intake's too low. Maybe your magnesium, potassium, and sodium intake were too low. All of this shit induces seizures. If you haven't had your levels done in a long time, it might be worth getting your potassium, magnesium, phosphate, sodium, a Chem 20 they used to call it. But that doesn't include a phosphate level or magnesium level. You might get a phosphate level, but you will not get I've noticed in hospitals, magnesium is always separate for some reason. It's never included in panels. So I couldn't tell you what my magnesium level was or if it was ever checked in my entire life. As important as electrolyte as magnesium is, especially if you have brain damage, seizures, you know, you feel well. They give mag to stop labor, so obviously it's a good muscle relaxant. You know, magnesium sulfate drip. Women coming into labor, right? I started just grabbing a box of Epsom salts and just started licking this shit, man. That's how much pain I was in. I was gonna get a box of Epsom salts and just start fucking licking this shit out of it. But luckily I didn't have to resort to that. So again, man, I'm giving y'all my experiences. So hopefully you'll have a better experience. That's my hope. But what I ended up doing was just talking to my friend in the ER. I can't get nobody on the phone on this end. This shit happens all the time over on this end. You already know this. Call in this medication for me, so I can get control of this shit. And boom, boom, boom. That's what happened. So much love to my friends at Northeast Montana Health Service up in Northeast Montana on the reservation, Sioux Assiniboine Reservation. Because my love for small hospitals actually comes from this type of experience. What I experience in the big hospitals is people go in and they're like a machine, like a cog in the wheel, and the cogs all just know how to do. Please fill out Form E. Please fill out Form E. Please fill out Form E. Okay. If you don't want to fill out Form E, that person can't help you. You need to go down, walk down 2 steps to the person who says fill out Form FG, and they to fill out Form FG. Okay, that's what I'm noticing in medicine. It's turning into that type of shit. Pretty soon, the AI is going to be doing a lot of the bullshit, and there'll be less people doing it. So, it is what it is, man. Nobody wants to go into medicine because the world's, oh my God, it's getting hard in the world. It's been fucking hard in the world. Some of y'all with the calling need to quit being pussies, man, and go ahead and fucking do it while your medical education might be cheaper in the future. I don't know, it might be cheaper. Don't let it stop you, because there's no lack of need in this field for individuals that are skilled in mind, body, and spirit. We need all three, man. And you guys that only understand one or the other, just stay the fuck out of medicine, man. I'm just telling you right now. If you just only a materialist and you can see that, but you don't, we get the fuck out, man. Go be an engineer, bro. Because all y'all doing is y'all making the situation worse. I mean, your compassion and empathy in medicine should be off the fucking charts before you even step foot in the medical school. It should be off the fucking charts. I should tell you, write an essay for me about how you saved the little brown dog from getting ran over when he crossed the road and why you did it. That's what I want to read. Because all y'all gonna say the same shit when you want to get in medical school. Oh, I want to be a doctor, blah, blah, blah. My father, my grandfather went to Hopkins and blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I care about how you talk to the next person that you talk to as a patient. That's what I care about. The rest of it, I don't give a fuck about. Because you know why? This is the situation that happens in real life, happened today. Motherfuckers like me in the bed, locked up with seizures, but I can only get one homie, the person I work with the closest, to give me the medication that I need. Thank God. God bless. Before shit got right. God bless you if you got 20 homies like that. And I just got off the phone. My friend was a brain surgeon, so I kind of went through him what I knew about the CBDs, my experience with them, and I went through my experience with with taking the benzos, because he's not a neurologist, but he can figure this shit out. He's neurosurgeon shit, and that was a good situation. But he was saying this when he called the hospital, because it's my best friend, to try to get information, and he was getting stonewalled too, So stay healthy, man, but learn about health. Learn about health. Learn about the body and balance. So little bitty stuff I'm learning is important, man. Like what I eat that day. Maybe that day I went into seizures, my body had too little potassium, too little magnesium. Maybe the calcium levels were too low. I wasn't eating a regular diet. I was kind of like my appetite was gone. I'm kind of spaced out and shit. I'm kind of trying to come back to reality now. Not these seizures have gave me a break, but oh man, I've learned a lot from this experience that I'm going to take with me to clinical practice, and hopefully the patients will benefit from my suffering. From what I've gone through, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, every other fucking way possible. I don't know, man. There's a lot of information out here. It's being disseminated through channels. Some doctors, some nurse practitioners. Everybody's not on one sheet of music with the medical record. The medical records are disjointed. Half the records are in one place, half are over here. Then the one doctor you get a hold of, well, oh, I don't have those records. I'm the cardiologist. This shit is it's time out for this shit, man. Whatever we got to do, all you nerds in there with this computer hacking ability, you need to get the fuck on your computer right now and figure out how we take a non-integrated system and pull the information we need out to make a basic medical record. Patient, just basic shit like what's wrong with you, what's up to date, what medicines are you on right now, any recent. That's all we need, man. Like y'all trying to create these like complex fucking megawatt computers with autonomous thinking. We don't need none of that shit, man. We need somebody to get off their ass in the computer medical industry, go to two different systems, Cerner and what's the other one? The other one is an example, or any other system. And also, how do you make them talk to each other? And how do we use these devices we have in our hands, the iPhone, to a higher level, right? Because this device will hold a lot of information. It may tell you my sleep wake cycles. It may tell you a lot of stuff. We're not using them properly. I know my Apple Watch will give me EKGs. If I hold on to the crowns, it'll give me EKG for that day, which is interesting. But yeah, man, it's just right now. Don't think you're in an advanced level of medicine because you're not. You still living in the dark ages, barely outside of the time when your grandfather brought your grandmother over here on a wheel, a wooden wheel truck to start a farm. You think it's a lot further than that, but I'm telling you, it ain't. Don't get the shit twisted, bro. Just because we can do magic tricks in certain areas doesn't mean medicine as a whole is still back here, right? And the computers are making it worse because you try to fill out one form, and if it doesn't work, you sit there for 20 fucking minutes. You ever sat on a computer for 20 minutes with brain damage, trying to figure out with some shit? Trust me, it's a lot of fucking fun. Yeah. Just what you want to be doing when you got fucking brain damage from being resuscitated a week ago is talk to a computer about why your fucking passwords don't want to go through over and over and over and over and over and over again. But that information is what you need right then, right? But now you done put in so many motherfucking passwords until the shit's worthless. So then you got to reset the whole system. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that one. It took me 2 days to get my medical license and my DA numbers offline. Now, luckily, I had them in my emails. I didn't go to the site. I went to my emails and got them. Hey, man, this shit out here, it's brutal. It's brutal. Okay? And it's not because people don't care, man. It's not because of that. It's because there's a disjunction between how we view the mind, the body, and the physical body, and then the soul. There needs to be more integration in between, which means automatically communication gets updated. Updating of communication is a process that has to happen as a consequence also of spiritual growth. See, we in this certain part of medicine because we stuck in a certain part of our mental and our spiritual. We can't advance. We got a lot of stuff. Can't anybody get access to it? It's all locked up in some storeroom in some clinic out here that somebody has the keys to, and I can't talk to them. I guarantee you, there's a fucking clinic within 2 miles of me looking in any direction. I guarantee you, there's a clinic somewhere right out there, close to my house. Right. So I don't know, man. If you're going into computers as a kid, and you want to go into computer information systems, you will be doing the world a lot of good. If you design a system that is holistic and integrated and can talk in between machines, you'll be playing golf with Elon Musk. All right. You and Elon and Jaden Smith go be riding around in the Tesla together, talking about shit. Of that, I'm sure. And if it ain't them, it'll be some other icons out there. So just bringing some of the frustrations from the real world of the afflicted from the standpoint of being a doctor. I've known these problems existed already because I, unlike other people, listen to my patients when they talk. All right. But it's still different seeing it from the inside of how fucking the system is just redundant, and unless you stand in front of them with whatever it is they need, it's like they have no use to you. Even though I can do a telemedicine visit right now with my telephone, look at your face, listen to your heartbeat if I wanted to. I could. There's a scope that'll hook up to the heartbeat, to the lungs, get a general idea of what's going on. Boom, boom, boom. You need seizure medicine, young man. I'm finna call in some Keppra for you. Boom, boom. That's what could have happened yesterday if I lived in a different fucking universe, right? Right? I mean, I already paid a couple of $1,000s a fucking month for insurance. I mean, how much I got to pay? I'm supposed to pay like fucking $500,000 to get that kind of service? That's bullshit. You don't have that kind of service because the system isn't designed to give you that kind of fucking service, period. That's why. iPhone's gonna make their fucking money over here with all of these gadgets on the fucking iPhone, and over here, medicine, you'll get broke off a couple of little widgets and shit. Widgets. Then you're gonna have to recreate your own systems, redundant systems all over again. Oh look, we can get a device, take an EKG. I do too. It's called a fucking iWatch. Right? I mean, it's greed, man. Don't you understand what's happening? This shit is all separated out because some motherfucker wants to make some money. And while they're making money, we're over here in the bed twitching and shit, having spasms and heart attacks and shit, trying to figure out how can we get all these people on the same sheet of music. These people making these medical records. How come when I contact somebody, if I can't contact their assistant, then the next in line needs to be a PA or nurse practitioner, somebody that can help me. Yeah. Chain of command. I'm military, bro. It's battalion commander, company commander, right? Platoon leader, squad leader, all down the elements. That's the way I roll. Company, platoon, attention. It's a hierarchy, man. That's the way I'm trained. And when the hierarchy fucking breaks, my brain goes, something in that part right there is completely fucked up. And until that part right in there is fixed, it's going to be completely fucked up. And people are going to continue to suffer from this system being so disjointed like this for whatever reasons. We know the reasons it is. But I was talking about specifically the medical record and the patient's ability to get people on the phone when they have a medical problem. Okay? And not have to depend on throw grandma in the back of the fucking Subaru again one more time. Let's cruise down to the ER. Some of this is going to be on y'all millennials, man. If y'all don't want to go into medicine and learn what we learn, then you should expect you're going to get the quality that you get. Because you can't expect all this. Look, I already died a few weeks ago. Us OGs in medicine, walking encyclopedias, dying, bro. So y'all on the clock, millennials. Y'all are on the fucking clock. Y'all gonna have a bunch of geriatric ass, senile ass doctors, and I hope on your end you have people that have done their homework. And this shit is, and you need people that are interested in the general workings of things like internal medicine, family practice. We need those doctors, man. We don't need everybody to say, I only fucking deal with green M&Ms. That's all I fucking touch, smell. I don't want the blue ones. I don't want, I mean, when I got taught the heart, I got taught everything except how to do surgery on it. But I've floated some pacemakers in my time. I've interrogated pacemakers in my time. I've done stress tests, nuclear stress tests, sat next to the radiologist when we read it together, interpreted it together. I mean, there's levels to this shit, man. And every level that you take it up in the game as a practitioner, it means one other person doesn't have to suffer. Maybe to you, heart surgery is everything. But, when I'm lying in the fucking bed having a seizure, thinking my back's gonna snap in half. I give two fucks about heart surgery. What I care about right then is how do I get my muscles to unfucking clench so my back doesn't snap in fucking half? That's what I care about. Who do I talk to within 20 minutes to get this shit straight? We can do FaceTime, whatever. This shit needs to be resolved. Either have some type of medical disclosure with the iPhone and say if you sign this, you give the hospital the right to look through your vital medical records like EKGs, pulse oximetry, basic shit, not the whole phone. I don't care if you're talking to your girlfriends or whatever on the side. Who gives a fuck about that? What I want access to is the basic medical record on the iPhone for the past week. If you sleep with it, how are you sleeping? Are you waking up? Are you using it to take pulses? And can it be integrated so that the person that's calling me, boom, so and so. So you have an iPhone? Oh, hey, let me push this button so you can see my medical record. Boom, bam, they looking at my medical record through their iPhone. Right? They got access to my right there history, allergies, everything, past medical history, mitral valve prolapse. You already know all that right now. So what can I do for you, right? Just telling you, man. This all starts with an idea, but the people with the technical prowess out there aren't. They got their asses all over the place, man. What we need on this end is integrated system that does these things that I'm talking about. Okay, you can make everybody's life a lot fucking easier. Telemedicine is here to stay. You got to learn to use peripheral devices and make an assessment using your phone or a laptop. It's here to stay. And why not? Because what I had yesterday, I talked to him on the phone. Thank you. A doctor on the phone prescribed me my medication. Oh, nice. You want to see what that Montana buffalo look like? That's that Montana buffalo, baby, that bison. That's what you eat to get your heart and mind back in shape. Got the heart of the bison, man. Can't anybody mess with you. The big-hearted animal. So hopefully, man, some of this helps somebody. I'm gonna tell you right now, you better have a doctor on speed dial, like somebody that you can call when shit's the fan, and you can't get nobody else. I don't give a fuck if it's a friend, somebody, preferably that can refer you to an ER if you have a bad problem. You better put them in your phone, man, because otherwise you're gonna be like me sitting in the room. Shit gonna lock up on you, and everybody gonna give you the runaround. And the worst feeling in the world is to get the fucking runaround when you're in the bed having a fucking seizure, or can't get Dr. So and so on the phone. Can I help you, please? I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's time out for this bullshit, man. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of the greed in the system. Everything's money oriented. I'm tired of it. A lot of doctors are tired of it. The reason we stay in it is because we're the ones that actually care about you. We know if we all retire, you're gonna be stuck with these fuck boys out here that's out writing checks on both ends. And God help you if that takes place. God help you. You think your pain has started now? Then just wait. Wait till Dr. So-and-so, who's mainly worried about his golf score, is the only motherfucker you got access to. Okay? Then you go think back to the days when we had fucking real empathetic practitioners that knew their craft and recommend some changes to the system that would help. All right? It's not a game, man. People suffering as I speak. As I speak, I guarantee you somewhere, somehow, in some nursing home somewhere, somebody's moaning and fucking groaning and needs help. Yeah. And they're not getting what they need. How do we put an end to that shit? That's what I want to know. If I gotta build a system, I will build it. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to computer programming and design. But if y'all force me to fucking do it, I will. Okay. Because it seems like motherfuckers just real slow, man. Real slow to take anything practical. See, black folks got common sense. We can take our common sense and apply it to a complex problem. I'm not saying white people don't, but I'm saying we specialize because of 400 years of you throwing us a fucking hole in the axe and saying pick me 4,000 gallons of cotton. We had to figure shit out. That ingenuity is built into us. And I guarantee you, 3 or 4 black doctors and executives could sit with a in a clinic in one day and write a list of shit down that needs to be fixed. A mile long fucking list. For instance, my e-sign on the computer stopped working. I talked to a lot of different techs over and over again. I finally just said, I don't want to e-sign no more. Little shit like that, okay? I can give you examples. Little shit like that slows everything down. That should have been fixed, slickety split, boom, 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 and not just call a doctor over and over again because that's what y'all used to doing, right? Even the people that aren't in medicine, like techs, y'all used to let me call a doctor again. He's a smart guy. No, he's a fucking doctor. He might be dumb as fuck, but he's a doctor, all right? So now the answer ain't always just call a doctor again. In that case, it was computer information systems should have got that shit fixed, and then what happened? It never got fixed. So I still to this day don't e-sign. And that's what's happening out here right now. I'm telling y'all, these systems are in place in these hospitals, and they're not working, and they're not helping the patients, man. I mean, y'all want to keep focusing on brain transplants and all that, while simple shit down here in the flatlands is being neglected. What's you got phone? You got a phone charger? It's here.
You need to put down there. What's the name there?
Give me this. Anyway, I gotta go, man. Hopefully you guys got some information you can use out of this. keep as much of your medical information as you can for yourself. If you can get copies of your charts, take them home. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all to do right now until this shit's straightened out. Just take your fucking records home, man. Every so many 6 months, you say, can I get a copy of my records for 6 months? Yeah. Get the progress notes, get the history and physical, get the medication update, any procedures you had in the meantime, any surgeries, and any specialty consults that are really relevant to what you're dealing with. Bring those with you. And I guarantee you, your doctor will smile. Your internist, when you walk in with that big pack, he goes smile. Because internists, we love big packs of information and huge amounts of fucking information that nobody can do anything with. That's what we specialize in. Breaking them bricks down, baby. All right, man. I gotta go eat, man. Job bless, man. I hope somebody got something out of that. Till next time, peace.